Hello everybody, welcome to this video. In this video we'll see a question based on projection of solids, projection of cone. Question is, a cone of base diameter 50 mm and 60 mm height has one of its generators on HP. If the axis of the cone is seen as 45 degrees inclined to XY line in top view and apex is near to VP, draw the projection of the cone. So since the top view of a cone is a circle, first you draw the reference line and draw a circle of 25 mm radius. Now just draw a parallel horizontal diameter like this, parallel to this reference line, and also a perpendicular diameter like this. Now you can mark 45 degrees like this from here, and from all these perpendicular lines you can mark 45 degrees so that you can get 8 divisions. So in that way you can divide the circle into 8 divisions. Now name all those points as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and apex as O. To the dimension 25, radius 25. Now you want to project all these points to the baseline, reference line, and name that point as A dash. This point will be B dash and H dash. So this is the front view of this cone. And in front view you can see, if we consider B and H, these are collinear points, but B and H are first we can see B and then H. So H is invisible, so H will be inside bracket. So while naming this point B dash and H dash, similarly this point will be C dash and G dash. G dash is inside bracket because G dash is invisible. So similarly D dash and F dash, D dash and F dash is invisible. So we can name all those points, 8 points on this line like this. Now the height of the cone is given as 60 mm. So from this center point just mark 60 mm upwards. Use a chain line to show that height axis. So that point is O dash. Now do the dimension here. Now connect all these 8 points to that apex. You can see generator. You can draw slant generators like this. These lines on a cone are called generators. Okay. Now, so in that way you can complete the front view and top view. Now you want to, it is given that the cone is lying on HP on one of its generators. So the cone has one of its generators on HP. So it is lying on one of its generators on HP. That means we want to put it down like this. So to draw this diagram, first measure this dimension O dash E dash, slant generator length. So for that dimension you mark here. This is E dash, E1 dash, and this point is O1 dash. So this dimension you mark a point here. This is E1 dash, this point E1 dash. Then this dimension you mark here like this, O1 dash. Now draw that line. Now measure this angle, this slant line O dash E dash angle, and that angle you can mark here like this. This angle you want to mark here. Now length of this base diameter, so that is 50 mm. So from here at that particular angle you want to draw that dimension here like this and connect that and draw the triangle. So you can get that triangle. Now you just measure these small dimensions from E dash to D dash, D dash to C dash, C dash to B dash, and B dash to A dash. All those small dimensions we want to mark here. E dash to D1 dash, E1 dash to D1 dash. In that way you can mark all those dimensions. So you can get some points here. Connect all those points to the apex. Use center line, use chain line to show the center line. Now once you get this diagram, you want to draw the projection lines. So from G, F, E, D, all those points you just draw parallel lines. So in this case, since this line is perpendicular, H and F will be a single line. Similarly, A and E will be a single line, B and D will be a single line, and C. So you can get 5 lines here like this. Now you want to draw vertical lines from all these 8 points to the corresponding projection lines from here. That is, if you want to find A, just draw a line from A to the projection line from A like this. Similarly, to B, projection lines from B you can draw to the B line. So in that way, E you can draw a projection line from E dash to projection line from E here. Then D you can draw a projection lines from D to D. In that way you can get 6 points here, 8 points here. Similarly, you draw vertical lines from O1 dash also, O1 dash to O. So you can get some points here. Now connect all those points by using smooth curve. You can name those points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Always remember that here this point is E. So naming will be E first. Okay, A will be here. So in that way you have to do the dimensioning. Okay. In this diagram, A is coming first, then E is coming last. But once you turn it down, E will be the left point and A will be the right side point. So while naming here, always remember this point you want to name here based on these points. So E is coming first. Okay, so E1 in that way. So here A is coming here. So A1, B1 in that way you have to do the dimension. Now once you get all these 8 points and O, use a smooth curve to connect all those points, and also draw tangent like this to get the top view. Now it is given that in top view the solid the axis the axis of the cone is seen as 45 degrees with XY line. So you want to turn this at 45 degrees like this. This diagram top view, the fourth diagram for top view, you want to turn like this to draw this diagram. For that, first you draw a line at 45 degrees like this. Now mark a point there. Okay, now this is that point. Name that as O2. Now you want to measure these small dimensions, O1 to A1, A1 to this line length, this line to this line length, this line to this line length, and this line to this line. So all those dimensions, so O1 to A, O to A dimension you mark here, then this small dimension you mark here, then use the next dimension you mark from there to here, and other dimension you mark from there to here, and other dimension, this small dimension from here to here. Now through that you will get some points here, or through those points you just draw perpendicular lines. Now A2 will be same as A2 will be on this reference line itself. Now to get B and H, this dimension, you measure this dimension, and you want to draw from this point, you want to draw that dimension perpendicular to this line. Okay, perpendicular to this line, you draw a line. On that line you want to mark this dimension from here to here and here to here. So that dimension you want to mark here and here. Similarly, from the second point here, you mark those dimension, this side and this side dimension. That is this dimension and this dimension you want to mark from here to here and here to here, and other dimension, this dimension and this dimension from here to here and here to here, and E2 will be on the same point. So you will get some point, connect that, and you will get this ellipse, and also join that tangent to, using tangent, join that to O2. So you will get a top view of this diagram rotated at 45 degrees. Now to get the sixth diagram, you want to draw projection line. First you draw projection lines from all these points here like this, all these points like this. Then corresponding to each point you want to draw a projection line from A to A. Here it is A1 dash and here it is A2. So A2 to A1 dash line you will get A2. Similarly B2 to B1 dash will give you B2. C2 to C1 dash will give you C2, D2 to D1 dash will give you D2. In that way you will get 8 points here. And also you will get O2 also. From O2 also you draw a vertical line, you will get that point. Now once you get all those points, you use a smooth curve to connect those points like this. And after drawing this diagram, this curve, just use a smooth tangent to connect this like this, so that you can get the diagram. Now you want to draw the axis also to get a 3D appearance. To draw the axis, you connect any two opposite generators. You draw a line from A to E and F to B. Meeting point will give you this point. E to D and F to B, you will draw a line from A to D and F to B, this line. This A to E and F to B will meet here. From there you can draw a chain line to show the axis. So in that way you can complete the diagram. So this is how you draw a cone, projection of a cone when it is lying on the ground, on its generators. Hope you understood this diagram, how to draw this diagram. Thank you very much for listening to this video. Thank you.